Peace and blessings, everyone, kings and queens and littles and everyone in between. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, 8 o'clock. We definitely have a wonderful, wonderful guest with us today. Our co-host, she's amazing. Her energy it just oozes once again through however you're watching this, whether it be on your iPhone, your Android, your laptop, your Mac, you name it, it's going to ooze. It's going to ooze straight through. So I need everyone to pile on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come and enjoy a few minutes with us. I know we had a long day. We're probably maybe kicking back after being with our children and the virtual learning and everything else in between.
Yeah.
Pile on in. Come on in.
Have a seat.
Absolutely. Prop your feet up, bring your drink. I got mine. Just letting y'all know I got my drink here and there. Okay, bring it on in.
I feel left out. I didn't bring my drink, but it's okay.
It's all right. I'll drink for you. It's not even no work. Got you,
Yeah.
girl. I got you. But I do want to I want to pause for a minute because I do want to thank everyone that has been flooding, my timeline, commenting on the pictures that I've been posting, sending me DMs, text messages, phone calls. So for all of you that are new here, I just want to introduce myself. I'm a mom. That's not what I want to say. But anyway, my name is Nicole, and I am the owner and CEO of Moms Need Help Too, LLC, Mommy Concierge Childcare, where we actually help our moms and our dads in the comfort of their home as they're transitioning from childbirth. We can help from before they give birth all the way to the time they become empty nesters. So we also travel with our parents. We have hotel and resort sitters. We have nannies. We have regular sitters, your date night sitters, amongst other things. So basically, recently we actually started a new venture. So business number two. All right, business number
That's
2.
That's a good number.
I know. I learned.
Yes.
So where we are starting our own brick and mortar learning center right here in Newport News. So it's 4030 Campbell Road, Suite D, and that's Newport News, Virginia 23602. So we're taking you guys through the process of everything that it looks like. It was raw, so I gave you the raw. So now I'm giving you the build out process. So thank you to everyone that has been seriously just giving me all the love and support and blessings. This is overwhelming. So I definitely had to take a moment to do that and thank everyone. So without further ado, please come in again. Just pile on in, and don't forget to drop any questions, concerns, comments, please, for our guest here, our co-host, and also to share it out. Even when it comes to our replay viewers, share, please. You said what, babe?
Sharing is caring.
Right, like the Care Bears.
Sharing is caring. And let me say congratulations to you again while we're in the stream. Congratulations, because it is no small feat to have a brick and mortar. Like, you need to really pat yourself on the back. And where were you when I was having my twins? And where was this mommy concierge? Because I remember just like having to interview and go through all the hassle myself, being pregnant and working full time. So this service, if people don't know how valuable it is to your life to have someone to do the work for you in the background while you're just trying to get through your day to day, they need to understand the importance of that. I can attest to that, being a mother, a teacher, a full-time parent, all that. Like, it is a lifesaver to have someone that you can trust to do that work for you behind the scenes. That's so important.
Absolutely. And let me just piggyback that for you, if I may. So
yes,
when I was speaking to a mom not too long ago, in regards to the consultation, because a lot of moms is like, well, why do I need this consultation? Because you're important to us. So it's more or less like, and I understand I can't say how everyone else does it. I can only speak for Moms Need Help too. The reason why we start with a consultation is because I'm a mother of three. I don't play when it comes to my babies in my household. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have somebody just knock on the door, and be like, all right, you can leave now, or bye. No, no, no.
Yes.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So with that stated, you know, your family becomes my family.
Yes.
Plain and simple. So for me, I want to make sure that, you know, we begin on that ground stage. You know what I'm saying? That phase, and
The
it's built
foundation.
exactly. That is built on
Yes.
trust and transparency at all times throughout the duration of our relationship. Even though it's a business relationship, it's still a relationship. Period. You know.
It is. And
So
there
that's
still needs to be rapport.
absolutely
Yes.
at all times. At all times, I don't play.
Yes.
You know. So, and I'm very protective of my families, and I'm very protective over your families. You know. So that's why we do what we do. You know, and then the process continues. However, we're not talking about that. Let's talk about you, love. So we have Miss Shayla Nicole. Even though we spell it kind of different names, but different way. But
Yes.
it's cool. We still,
We're still Nicole.
yeah, absolutely. So, without further ado, love, go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Hi, everyone. I am Shayla Nicole. I am the owner of Tidewater Tutors. I am an educator in the city of Portsmouth, which I love. I love it because I get to give back to my own community. I'm actually a teacher where I went to school in middle school. So that's like so cool for me to be able to come full circle to teach my students who I went to school with their parents, their cousins, I taught their siblings. So I've been an educator for over 15 years now. And I just recently got my master's from ODU. Go Blue. So I'm an ODU alumnus. My master's is in media education, so librarian. And currently I am a business teacher, but my tutoring company is my love. So I can relate so much to what you're saying about building that rapport with families, building that trust, because when someone calls me to talk about their children, I absolutely treat their children like my children. My son needed tutoring. I made sure that he had tutoring through one of my tutors. Like, it is just important to set our kids up for success. They need it. And success long term, that's very, very important. And a lot of kids miss that. They fall through the cracks in school. We had to do a lot of research, especially females. And I never knew this. Females fall through the cracks so much. They get suspended more than boys. As uh, yes, as when I was shocked when I read the book. You think about it though, moms, I'm a mom of 3 boys. So I instantly want to nurture my boys, and we nurture the girls, but as women, we are always seen as the nurturers, the leaders, the caretakers. So a lot of times when you're dealing with female teachers, we're like, oh, the girls, they got it. They can do it. The girls are the leaders. And we tend to sometimes miss out on those things with girls because we're so busy catering to the boys because we feel like the boys don't always get it. They need that extra help. But the girls need it just as much too, because they get put out of school more than the boys.
Wow.
So that kind of blew my mind studying that. So that's definitely a gap that's important to pay attention to. So moms with girls, make sure that we're not always just pushing the girls to the side, thinking that they have it, because they need just as much support as the boys, if not more sometimes.
Absolutely. No, and wow,
So
that's eye-opening. I'm sorry, but wow. Okay.
no, I mean, that's the same. The way when I was reading the book, I was like, wow. I mean, and being a teacher, we see so much. So in education, if a student is not prepared by 3rd grade, they've already pipelined them to the jail system. So if you are not reading, you're not getting your math correctly, they have set you up that you're going to be a failure to society. And we're just going to go ahead and make sure that you are in the mindset that you're going to be in jail, because it's almost like a setup, for a better lack of words, because if these kids aren't getting the support and the foundation and the structure, like you said, that foundation is everything. If they don't
Absolutely.
have it, we're missing the ball. We're passing them on, but when they get to high school and they have to take these SOLs and they have to be accountable, they're
Right.
dropping the ball.
Right.
So tutoring is super important because they get to
Absolutely.
get that one-on-one. So
Absolutely.
the big topic we're talking about tonight is change. Change is necessary in everything we do. You know, when I talk to parents on the phone, the first thing they say is, I need help. I'm overwhelmed.
Right.
School is
Absolutely.
not what it used to be. And I'm like, no, it's not. When
Nope.
we were in school, it was rote learning. You know, we learned it over and over and over again. Or, you know, our parents may not have been able to afford tutoring, but it's
Right.
different time. You have got
Yeah.
to invest in your children because the competition now is so stiff and the kids are falling behind. And if you're not keeping up with the change, you're falling behind too.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. But also too, I'm gonna jump in real quick because what you said is like paramount, you know? I think, and I get this too. Um, I mean, me and I have experienced this. So, a couple things. One, I think a lot of times we as mothers, we kind of, I don't know why we fear to ask for help. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
It's kind of like, no, I think I'll be all right. Either
mhm.
that or even in knowing that they need it. Like, it's like, nah, I
Yes,
think it'll get better. It'll get better. I'll just, slap them around, put them in punishment or whatever. But it's not solving anything. You know what I mean? That's one. Two is knowing that your child needs the help. However, um, mm, not budgeting for that for your children. You see what I'm saying? Does
preach.
that make sense? Okay. Because the thing is, it's like you're going to need the help, but then you want the dollar menu. No. It's an investment. You're investing into your child. So you're trying to tell me
Say it
you're like,
again.
child is worth the dollar menu? Like,
Yep,
I mean, now don't get me wrong. There are going to be parents that are like, I really don't have it. Then for
and
me,
that's
I'm still going
different.
to if I can. Exactly. That's totally different.
That's
However,
different.
don't rock Prada and everything. You looking for, the new sneakers of da 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 da, but then you want the dollar menu for your child. I do have a
These,
problem with
come on, come on.
that.
This is what I see. It's so frustrating because I was an eighth grade English teacher.
Right.
Now I have taught English, history, and now I'm the keyboarding teacher. Okay. It
Right.
all ties in. If you cannot read, that is the foundation of everything we do. Okay. So why is it that when your child is in eighth grade, you're telling me that they're reading on a first and second grade level? I had students that I had to build the structure of their reading just to read. And I tell parents, I don't care what your child reads, let them read whatever they like as long as they're reading. And I understand what you're saying. Parents call me and I get frustrated. You want to shop around, but you're shopping around for what? Because you're not getting the same thing. And your child, by the time parents call me, a lot of times their child is already behind. You're calling me when the child has a final to take. You're calling me when they have a test. And I'm like, you had to have known that they were struggling. I remember my son, he was doing a semester in Richmond with his dad. And he called me. He said, I'm struggling with geometry. It wasn't a second thought to me. It was like, okay, you're getting a
Right.
tutor because if you're struggling, you need to not be struggling anymore. We're not even going to wait. I'm not going to prolong it because once you get behind, and I stress this to parents, in education, teachers are on a pacing guide. Okay. They're not going backwards to help your child. And I tell parents, if you're not going to hold your child back, then you need to make them stay ahead of what they're learning in school because the teacher is not going back to help them because she's got sometimes 25 to 30 kids in a classroom. She can't go back.
Right.
You have got to have that one-on-one, and studies have shown that one-on-one is better anyway for the learning. And I don't know why, like you said, if you don't have it, that's one thing. But if you have the money to spend, it's an investment to your child. You will go out and pay for Jordans that are $150. You will stand in line for that. The kids will stand in line. I've had kids tell me, I'm still in line and waiting for a ticket. What? You got the $1,000 iPhone. You have all these things come to school head to toe. Sometimes in all the designer, but you
Right.
don't know how to read. You have
Right.
students that don't know how to read. And I'm looking like, how did you get this far and nobody at home recognize this? And if
Absolutely.
you don't have the skills at home to do it, call for help.
Absolutely.
I knew I couldn't tutor geometry. He needed help beyond
Right.
what I could do.
Right. Absolutely. And that's my biggest thing is too is like I said, like you said, asking for help, but also you have to think about where the child is too, because I can only imagine the way, of course they're going to put on that front. Some children put on that front like, man, it's all right, man. But it really affects their what is it? Their not their pride. What is it? Um,
Their
their
confidence.
attitude, their
Yes.
confidence, and their attitude sometimes, because sometimes it shows through, their daily life.
Yes.
Because they're getting frustrated, and sometimes that frustration turns into anger, and now they're lashing out, and you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yes.
kind of like we have to be mindful where our children are at all times, and I get it. A lot of times we're so used to, being, the parent and the provider and whatnot. You feel me? Like, that we kind of lose sight of being that parent, that first initial teacher for our children. It doesn't
You
stop at a
are.
certain age. You see what I'm saying?
No. You are
No.
the first teacher. You are, and I tell parents that all the time, you are the very first teacher. And don't compare your children to each other.
Oh
Like,
no.
oh, well, my daughter wasn't like this in school, but
Right.
that's your daughter. Every child is different, and every student is different. Like, everybody's learning styles are different. One may be a visual learner, one may be a kinesthetic learner where they need to do things that are hands on. And yes, I tell parents all the time, you have to give children consistency that change. And because they change, teachers, sometimes schools, every couple of years, they're going to have to get adjusted to change. Change is always necessary, but something in their life needs to be consistent. So if you're going to start a routine with your child, be consistent with that routine. If you're going to read to them, read nightly. You need to read to your children. This is important. If you're going to sit down and do homework, I was blown away. Sometimes I'll ask how many students sit down with their parents at night for dinner just to have those conversations, those check-ins like you were talking about. It's amazing how many students don't get that check-in time just to sit at the table and say, "How was your day today?" That has shown, studies have shown that that improves a child's self-confidence, but it also makes a child more apt to want to develop that relationship with
Absolutely.
their parent, because you're talking to them about their day and they're hearing you talk about your day.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then also it keeps that connection going. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it's that one-on-one that even though your children don't always say it, but they crave it. You feel me? Like they crave it. You're they look up to you. You see what I'm saying? They want to be with you. They, even though they're like, I don't need my mom. I'm grown. I don't need my dad. I'm grown. You know what I mean?
I
No,
need you.
they
I
need
need you.
you. Period.
My
Exactly. Period.
18-year-old needs me. We were just having a
Absolutely.
conversation. He's in real estate school. And we were talking. He said, this is so important to understand investing and, the contracts and how to buy land and property. I said, I tried to teach you that a couple of years ago. He said, well, it's important. I said, no, you weren't mentally, you were not mature enough for that yet because it was of no relevance to you at that time. But now it's relevant. You remember, but it wasn't relevant. They
Absolutely.
want that conversation from you, even when we think they're not listening, they're listening, and at some point it kicks in. I'm all in my kids' business. I'm in your business. Listen, you don't have no business. I'm your business. Where you at? Where you going? Who's your
Absolutely.
friend? And your
Oh,
friends
yeah.
better come over here because I need to lay eyes on them too because I need to know who you dealing with. Parents
Right.
need to be like that because you need
Absolutely.
to know because sometimes you know too late and it's too far gone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Most definitely. And the thing is that, and I truly believe in like stages of our children's lives. Like for
Mhm.
example, like from an infant to toddler, from toddler to preschool, from what I mean, and it continues. And the thing is, a lot of times it's a different connection that's being made in each stage. That's what I
Mhm.
believe. I ain't looked that up. I'm just saying as a mom of three, that's what you know what I mean? Because the thing is, it's like right now, like I have a 7-year-old and we have a 14 and a 17. So,
Oh,
where my
you got
seven,
good
I know,
ones.
right? You know what I'm saying? So with my older two, they're teens. That's a different stage. Because I mean, I know I
Yes,
ain't that old, but I remember that stage. You know what I'm saying? I started smelling myself, and you know
yes,
what I'm saying, try to pull the shade over mom's eyeballs and everything like
yes,
that. So that's a different stage. You see what I'm saying?
yes.
So my 7-year-old, of course, is in a different stage because he's still in grade school. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that
It wants
gap.
to hug you.
Absolutely, and wants to be around his mama, and he loves hanging out with
Yes.
me. And he has questions for days, girl. Bye. Like, woo,
Yeah,
Lord, woo, Lord,
quiet
I
time.
love
It's quiet time.
it. Right. Let me finish this email, baby. Just give me a minute. Love you.
Give me a second. This will be a meditation.
So my biggest thing is, and the thing is, like, even for my daughter, my eldest, right? My 17-year-old, she's gonna be entering in, like, well,
Mm,
once they say once you get your cycle, you're in womanhood. But I'm just saying she's still learning. You feel me? So I still want to remain connected at all times because I don't want her
yes,
to come across somebody else. And before, because like you said, all my baby girls and my son's business. Because my biggest thing is, like, I'll ask her, like, so is such and such, is she a fast ass? And she's like, oh,
yeah.
what do you mean she fast? She's like, Mom, you mean does she run fast? No, 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 no. I'm
Oh,
not talking about the thing. No,
what's
I'm
she
saying that
doing
she's
out here?
fast. Like, does she do things that she shouldn't be doing at this age? That's
That's
what I mean.
right.
She's fast, because you got to stay intrigued. You got to stay connected and plugged into your children, regardless of what age they
Yes.
get. They will always need you. You see
And
what I'm saying?
parents
So,
forget that.
absolutely.
They
All the
forget you
time.
forget that you were this age at one point. Don't be so far. That's one of the reasons why I love teaching. It keeps me young. Like I found out a lot of stuff from my
Yeah.
students, like, and they are the king and queens of telling on my son. I seen your son. I seen you, and I'm like, oh yeah, when? What was he doing? Like, give me the check. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I
I
tell them
understand.
stories about my baby so that they can understand how to move in life. Like all these things are so important. You got to be all up in their business. Like
Absolutely.
it never stops.
Nope.
I love the fast ass question because I'm like, are you having sex? What you doing? Who you going with? And people are like, you talk to him like that? Like,
Yep.
yeah. And guess what?
Yep.
I'm your best friend because we going to the concert together because I'm the one with the money. Your friends really don't
Yep.
have as much money. So we are driving to Travis Scott concert in DC together because we need to have
Oh,
that connection and we need to do things
absolutely.
together. You have to be
Absolutely.
connected to your kids.
Absolutely. And the thing is, and I'm very transparent when it comes to my journey and my continued journey. So, a lot of things I did not have when I was a child, I'm
Yes.
pouring more of that into, my children. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because I know how
The
that
business.
felt. I know how that disconnect felt.
Yes, and the business, teaching them the business skills, the entrepreneurship, not to just
Absolutely.
work for someone else all your life, have your own dreams and your own goals. And I think sometimes parents forget that you have kids that you don't have to just put them in one state of mind, like go to school, go to college. That doesn't work for everybody. Everybody
No.
doesn't want to go to college. Everybody doesn't have that vision. Go
Right.
out and be an individual. That's okay to have your kids not be the norm.
Right.
College is not the end all anymore. It
Right.
used to be that way, but it's not. So I love that you're saying you're pouring into them the resources and things you didn't have because a lot of times, like, we didn't have certain things growing up, but it's different now. So let's give
Absolutely.
them that difference so they can see, so that they can go out into the world and figure out where they fit in all this big
Absolutely.
universe that we're in.
Absolutely, most definitely. And then also too, love, when it comes to your services, so basically, do you do virtual and in person, or how does that work?
I do both. So thank you for asking that. I do both. We've been doing virtual before the pandemic hit because of course change is necessary and getting people adapt to technology. This is where
Right,
we're going. It's so much
right,
easier to be on a computer screen if you're in DC and I'm in Virginia, but you can still get that great quality one-on-one service. So we do both. We'll come to you, but we also do our own online platform for tutoring. And my tutors are amazing. We tutor adults all the way to I have students in kindergarten. So we
wow,
do, yeah, we do everyone. One of my clients today just called. She's 60 years old, working on her bachelor's now, and so she needs math tutoring. So she'll start tutoring Monday.
Wow, look at you. And I think that's such a, first of all, that's patience of a saint. Okay. I'm just letting you know. I'm not that person. So I will be calling you, if I need you. So I'm just letting you know. Because that's not my lane. And I'm okay with that. Because some parents will be like, no.
Yes, you got to know what your skills are.
Keep it 100. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. Nope. Well, because I learned. Say it again, babe.
I don't do any of the tutoring. Let me just throw that out there. I just facilitate. Okay.
Ooh, Lord. Well, yeah, your team, amazing already. Boop, done. Because I learn a certain way, and then like my children learn a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like trying to fit where, like, see where we can gauge and connect or something, and it's always off. Because and plus the way they learn now, like their math, like even like when they started, I think who had the math, but maybe let's say Malachi. Malachi, he's in second grade. The way they do math is a little different. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's my 18-year-old.
Word. See, look, that's so freaky.
That's a great name.
It isn't. I know it's Malachi Christian. Yeah. So love it. I mean, that's my baby. My other two have backwards names. So Nevaeh and Samaj. So Nevaeh is heaven backwards. Samaj is backwards. Yes. So I just couldn't come up with the last one. So I was like, you know what, Malachi, because I always love Malachi. It's in the Bible. And Christian from Christian Slater, because he was back then, he was my heartthrob type of stuff. Anyway, showing my age. But anyway, so that's why I call him Malachi Christian. So but yeah, so definitely also too, when it comes to, so the hours, that do you guys have particular hours when it comes to your services, your tutoring services?
So I try to be really flexible with my parents. So we're open Monday through Sunday, weekends too. Yes, which is very convenient. Till 8 o'clock, just depending on the age of the student. For our younger ones, I say the cutoff should be about 6. Just for like kindergarten, first grade, because they've already had a long day, and anytime after 6, they should be winding down for bed. But the older students, high school, middle school, they can kind of handle it. And I always tell parents, your children, so kind of gauge where they are and what they can handle, because you know a little bit better than us coming in. And I tell parents, we don't do assessments when we come in. We are tutoring based off where the student is currently in school. And I always say, anybody who tries to sell you a curriculum, you need to be aware of that. Because if your child is already strong in multiplication and fractions, you don't need to be paying someone to go over multiplication and fractions again for a whole 2 months with them. You need to work on what the child is currently deficient in school now, because that's what they need help.
Absolutely. So basically, if you don't mind dropping in or just sharing, the platform so they can connect with you or whatever, however they can.
I can be reached. I have a website. My website is tidewatertutors.com, and I will put that in the comments. And my phone number is 757-217-8767. And I will also drop a jewel. With everything that's going on, we need to check in with our children's mental health also. So I also do guided meditation, holistic services. So it's very important to tune in to where your child is mentally, because they go through a lot in school with bullying, just feeling like they have to fit in with social media, just so many stressors that our children deal with on a day-to-day basis. So make sure that you're checking in. And if you don't get to always check in, that's what we're here for, to provide that meditation and that holistic health to help them get their minds in order.
And I think that's wonderful. So that's also for that service that's virtual too. Like, how do you connect with the children in that way?
I have been having classes at Savick Space in Portsmouth. And also I've done my own in-home. I'm actually having a retreat in February, but they can also, they can also book a virtual session that way via Zoom. So I do offer it that way too.
Sweet. So can you give us a little more about the virtual retreat, like the days, times, how someone can connect with you if they're interested?
All right, so it's almost sold out. We only have one bunk left and two kings.
Wow.
I know. I'm very excited. It's February the 21st to the 22nd. It'll be in Virginia Beach. And it's a plant-based medicine ceremony, but we'll have Reiki, yoga, sound meditation. It's going to be so super dope. I'm doing it with two other women, and I always said that I wanted to bring plant-based services here to the area. I went to ayahuasca last year with my son in March, and we just fell in love with it. It was life-changing, and it's just something that I think everyone should go through when they are going through a spiritual awakening.
Super dope. I'm telling you, if I would have known, I would have been there. I probably would have been your first ticket. So you gotta have to let me know the next time you do it, because I definitely want to come. You know, I'm all about it.
Yes.
I'm all about that. So, well, thank you so much, love. I truly, truly appreciate you. I mean, I've learned a lot. I mean, I honestly, I might be touching base with you on a couple things. I was like, wait, what'd you say? I need to take that down and make my notes. What did you say? Because I seriously, like, I should have had my pencil and paper myself. I hope everybody else that joined us tonight, you know, had theirs together, because let's swap some notes there. So, in closing, love, go ahead and drop in regards to your tutoring or whatever else you want to share with them. And then I know you also say you're going to drop it in our comment section. Yes. But for those that are on live, if you can drop it again for me.
Okay, it's TideWaterTutors.com, and we have a commercial that comes on the radio too on 87.7 and 102.1, but it's virtual in-home 757-217-8767. We are on Facebook, Tidewater Tutors. You can find me on Facebook. I am Shayla Spencer, and I'm on Instagram at Shayla Nicole 318. Thank you so much for allowing me to bless your platform tonight. Continue blessings of success to you. I am so proud of you, my sister, Queen. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, love. And I mean, you almost about to cry my contact out. Like, don't do that, because I'm emotional. I'm emotional.
Malachi Nicole. Come on. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you, love. Well, thank you all that has joined us this evening.
Yes.
Again, our live and our replay. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please, even after the end of this broadcast, please drop it in our comments. And if you have any questions for Shayla in regards to the different things that she shared this evening, you know, she will definitely be checking the comments and responding to you directly. And again, if you guys need or have any questions in regards to Moms Need Help Too, Mommy Concierge and Childcare, and or in regards to our learning center that is coming soon, please feel free to reach out to us at www.momsneedhelp2llc.com or give us a call directly at 757-504-0511. Until next time, peace and blessings.
Yes, thank you, Queen.
Thank you, Queen. All right, peace.